afternoon. Thank you for being here this afternoon. I'm going to read because my English is not good, and I hope you enjoy the presentation. There is a growing interest in the collaboration amongst public, private, and informal social entities to take complex challenges which overwhelm the capacities of any entity or institution and of itself. This phenomenon has often been described as network collaboration. Next, please. Theoretically, it is the government's role to lead and orchestrate or direct the behavior and actions of public and private entities to solve pressing social issues. It is obvious, however, that government cannot fully control all entities nor hold them entirely accountable. In this precise space where a plethora of opportunities emerge for change, agents who, from their own perspective, be it by conviction or necessity, enact transformative action in order to modify structures which have been trapped either by inert or constantly overwhelmed by a demand that far outpaces supply in order to revert social deterioration with a varying degree of success. These networks are also connections, relationships, structures, and means by which to reach a desired outcome. It becomes quite interesting to analyze the role that non-profit organizations, civil society, and individuals play in the extent to which these networks are much more than the sum of the individual parts. Today, I'm going to speak about the networks that are forged out of these efforts, about characters whom, without setting out, become role models of social change, adopting these leadership positions in the most part without a present agenda or stance. They travel as far as their conviction drives them, and they maintain themselves in a constant quest to improve, enhance the quality of lives within their communities. I live in Tijuana, a city located in northernmost corner of Mexico, next to the Pacific Ocean and sharing the border with the most powerful state in the United States, California. It is here due to its population of roughly 3 million inhabitants and its brief existence of 125 years that a real laboratory city has emerged. These strategic locations have not always been to the city good fortune, as in the years between 2007 and 2009, Tijuana underwent a strong and persistent streak of drug trafficking, related violence, which significantly affected the entire population. In this moment, a series of citizenry movements arose. One of them was Reacciona Tijuana, Tijuana Reacts. It was a platform which searched via an open call on both social media and public spaces to raise awareness about the responsibility we all carry as citizens to do something. It was our desire to incite individuals with the desire to imagine the city within a different terms and a framework other than that of violence in order to become creators of definitions. The goal was to empower citizens, offering them an active role with the possibility of transforming the course of history of the city. For many of us, Tijuana became the corner that reflected the dreams of a country seeking peace. As a founder of Reacciona Tijuana, and later on as the local head of crime and violence prevention program funded by the United States Agency for International Development, USAID, the last 5 years I have had the honor of participating across networks of citizen participation, public art and social prevention of crime and violence. Here I have come across a great number of waivers whom, without particularly differing in relation to the part of position they represent, share a common philosophy, the proper grassroots revolution. Here are some examples. In 2011, we met Alma Teresa in Camino Verde, one of many informal statements in Tijuana. While living there, she was in charge of coordinating some 30 neighbors who were working on a project funded by the federal government in which we were invited to participate. We decided to join this effort as Reacciona Tijuana, a public collective art where artists, professors, volunteers, and students for the arts school at Universidad Autónoma of Baja California. The job was to paint 1,000 homes under a concept proposed by the artist Luis Jackson. The challenge was to originally follow the visual reading of the space. We aimed to actively involve the community's inhabitants in the process of search or reconstruction. Our goal was to reaffirm and enrich the cognitive map, adding artistic elements that will enable them to come in contact with other realms of knowledge. In this case, art. The environment drove us permanently reduced to changing circumstances. Without a doubt, the fact that we could rely on Alma Teresa, guidance, and empathy, and the people that trust her as an active expert were key factors in advancing the project. As a consequence, we organized 2 workshops, building the ideal city and let's talk trash, let's come on an agreement. Exercises of a citizen-led design derived from the most pressing situations in the community. Residents were invited to participate in the building of a scale model of their neighborhood that will reflect the ideas and dreams of everyone. The goal was to let them imagination room and enhance build. In this manner, parks, libraries, bridges, and community centers emerged all over the vast community that borders the empty canal that both divides and connects Camino Verde. It's been 5 years. The next one. It has been 5 years and Alma Teresa is still there. Her activism is unyielding. It's unstoppable. For the last 4 years, she coordinates an orchestra with and without resources, and everything happens at the Granja Transfronteriza. I met Officer Jelkin Games in the next slide. Jelkin Games was part of the security detail of a police commander in Tijuana. Yes. She participated along with other officers who were assigned to Crime Prevention Division in a social proximity project. This project aimed to create community police by establishing links and citizen networks which will generate trust amongst the population and the police. At the same time, she was studying for her law degree. She also participated with us in a project implementing crime prevention through environmental design. She led and facilitated dialogues among neighborhoods and officer in several high conflict and high risk areas. Later on, she also participated in a program that created football academies for children of sex workers. Thanks to her acumen and results, coupled with the fact that she was the officer with the most technical knowledge in crime prevention and community policing, she was named Director of Citizen Cooperation, coordinating 2 officer terms in each of the city roles. Unfortunately, due to the structural challenges change within the police, she has been demoted and transferred to the research and analysis area of the corporation. As if right now she even thought she was being benched, and she described her current position behind her computer monitor. She labors on analyzing statistics of incidents reported in the high risk areas, trying to identify patterns and link possible causes to common crimes. Jelkin is determined to better herself and is currently studying a master in the penal justice system. Her wish to continue working on crime and violence prevention through a well-established community police. The next one is Erika. There's an entire sector in the 10 of Mayo neighborhood who incredulously awaits a miracle. Of course, any collaboration with volunteers, professionals, and artists is certainly welcome. That is how we arrived to this small community identified as having some of the highest crime and violence rates in the cities, as the local agents from the USA funded crime and violence program. Beside the citizen network of community improvement of RECIMEC, as a Spanish initials readout, there is a small neighborhood convenience store. From the doorway, Erika observes and whilst she shops. The shop is empty. She gives herself the chance to participate in some of the workshops of crime and violence program through environmental design, in the hopes of consolidating a safe route of the neighborhood. Later, in the program, a safe Tijuana for women, and in the preparation for the Vivamos la Calle Festival. 5 years from when we first met her, Erika has become one of the main leaders in the neighborhood, woman weaver of networks amongst nervy youths. She was had to break paradigms and confront cultural challenges which may not be that common in the other countries